So, who's hyped for the Book of Boba Fett releasing in December? I know I am. As a matter of fact, I'm so excited for it that I've been talking about it constantly with my family, friends, and everything like that, and they're kind of tired of hearing me talk about it. So I just wanted to make this video so I can talk about the Book of Boba Fett. Why? Because it's going to be awesome. If you're a Boba Fett fan like me, you feel the same as I do. But I really don't think awesome is the right word for it. This is something I've been waiting for since like 1980 when Boba Fett first appeared in The Empire Strikes Back. He was strong, silent, and had this demeanor about him and a very mysterious air. Like his armor was badass, but at the same time he wasn't afraid to speak up to Darth Vader about certain things. Like, what if Han Solo dies in the carbonite chamber? You know, he's no good to him dead, so Boba Fett stands to lose if that happens, but Jabba the Hutt wants him alive. Maybe frozen in carbonite's fine, but he has to be alive. And just so everybody knows, this video is unscripted. I'm just going off the cuff here and just rambling, pretty much. There's a lot of commentary going to be involved. Anything goes. I don't know exactly what I'm going to say, so I'm just going to say it. And I hope you guys enjoy it. But if you don't enjoy it, let me know. Give me a thumbs down or leave a comment down below and tell me that, you know, this is stupid. Don't do this. Don't make this kind of video anymore and start scripting them. You know, those are better or whatever. But this is just real talk. So if you do that and I get an overwhelming response that this is not the way to go, then I won't do it again, or maybe just limit how often I really do it. But if you're new here, I'm not going to go ahead and say, like I always do, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a comment, all that kind of stuff, because you're probably not going to do it. But if you feel like it, by all means, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a comment, whatever. It doesn't matter. At this point, this video is mostly for me. It's for you as well, but it's for me to just talk about Star Wars because everybody around me is getting sick of me talking about Star Wars, Boba Fett, Mandalorians, all of it. My co-workers, my employees, my family, my wife, my kids, they get tired of hearing me talk about it. And later today, I plan on doing a live stream with one of my kids on Twitch anyway. So I just want to make this short video or long video or however long I feel like rambling about Star Wars. But I'll tell you something about that subscribe button. If you do hit it, and I do periodically look at it, and if I see the number go up even by one, it makes me happy. It makes me smile. It makes me filled with joy inside, not because the channel's growing. Well, it's partially that, but it's not only because of that, but it's also because that means I made somebody happy. That means something I said got to somebody and it made them happy enough where they want to see more of my content. I've made a couple 100, 300 videos, something like that, and each one of those likes fills me with joy. I mean, it's overwhelming sometimes. Almost as much joy as I get watching the Book of Boba Fett trailer or the teaser at the end of The Mandalorian Season 2. I love Boba Fett that much. I love you guys, but the reason I'm here is because of Star Wars, Boba Fett, Mandalorians, that kind of thing. And it's not like I'm doing it to make money either, because the YouTube algorithm hasn't really favored me lately. It's probably been close to 10 months since it did favor me, and that was just because The Mandalorian came out and I was releasing a ton of content about The Mandalorian. So now it's more about me being humble and being about making the quality content for you guys, the Star Wars stuff that we all love, you know? Well, I guess at this point I've rambled on for about 4 minutes, really about nothing. I'm sorry about that. That is kind of a long intro there. I really didn't have anything planned out I wanted to say. I just wanted to talk to you guys, real talk about Boba Fett, Star Wars, and Mandalorians, and all that good stuff. I know I've said that several times, but like I said, this isn't scripted. Anything goes. I can say whatever I want. I'm not going to cuss. I'm not going to yell. I'm not going to do anything stupid to commit social suicide or anything like that. I just wanted to get this video out there, see how it does, and if it doesn't do well, that's fine. I'll do more of them or not. But if you guys give me a bunch of thumbs down and leave comments saying, you know, you suck, don't do this anymore, then okay, then I'll take that into consideration. I do take my viewers' feedback into consideration quite often, and any of you that have been with me in any amount of time, you know that, and it shows in my live streams on Saturdays that I do take you guys seriously, because you guys are the meat and potatoes of this channel. I make the videos for myself and you guys, but mostly if you guys enjoy it, that makes me keep doing it. Alright, so back to what I was saying. Boba Fett, when we first saw him in The Empire Strikes Back, he was this silent, demeanored badass. We didn't see him be a badass. We just knew he could be. Why? I mean, his armor, yeah, it's cool and everything, but there's one line that really stands out and makes it so. Darth Vader looks at him and says, "No disintegrations." And Boba Fett replies, "As you wish." That's it. That's all it took. That's all it took for us to go, whoa, this dude disintegrates people? All right, let's see it happen. But we didn't see it happen. We did see him track Han Solo down, and he was successful at that. But then later on, in Return of the Jedi, we see him get bumped into that big butthole mouth thing with the spikes, the Sarlacc pit, clumsily by Han Solo, who can't even see. So that kind of disappointed me, and I know a lot of other people, and everybody else just uses that as fuel to say, Boba Fett's nothing. He's a nobody. Nobody cares because he's stupid and he just got bumped and fell. He couldn't even shoot somebody from 2 feet away from him and all this good poop. But you know what? The air was still there about Boba Fett. When Han Solo saw Boba Fett or heard Chewbacca yell it was Boba Fett, he's like, Boba Fett, Boba Fett. You could tell there was a little bit of fear in Han Solo, and he was like, where? And he turns around, boink, there goes dude, screaming, smash, falls down into the butt mouth thing. And that's pretty much the end of Boba Fett for the next, I don't know, generation or so. And if you've only seen the films, then you think that's where it ended. You think Boba Fett fell in the Sarlacc, he died and all that good stuff. And that was the end of this creepy weirdo that had this air about him that he was a badass. But that wasn't it. There were stories written after that in the Legends continuity. It used to be called the Expanded Universe, but now since Disney bought it, they've decanonized it, which means it's not a part of the official story anymore, but they've moved it into the Legends category, meaning they still honor the stories, but it's not official. But there were stories written about Boba Fett. He became so much more. He escaped the Sarlacc pit. He was brought back to health with the help, sorry, my speech not worky today, brought back to health by Dengar, and then set out on his own way again. And after Boba tried to get back into the bounty hunting game, he wasn't really that successful because there was this bigger wars starting to happen. This is after the Empire had already fell and the New Republic was being built, and Luke Skywalker was helping it out, and Princess Leia was part of the new tribunal or government or whatever you want to call it. But this new group started attacking the New Republic, the entire galaxy, called the Yuuzhan Vong. And Boba Fett stood up against them alongside Luke Skywalker, and Boba Fett did great things. He did such an amazing job fighting off this horde that he became the leader of the Mandalorians, or Mandalore in Mandoa, which is the official language of the Mandalorians. And he went on to live a long, prosperous life. He even had a wife, he had a kid, he had a grandkid who came back and helped nurse him back to health with the help of some other clones that figured out how to de-age. But this is all in the Legends material now, so it doesn't really count as story. It's great to read. It's a fun read. I recommend it highly. Just look it up. It's on Audible. It's on Kindle. You just check it out. I really, really do recommend it. All right, so now we're back to the official story, or canon, which is Boba Fett fell in the Sarlacc. Somehow he escaped. Yeah, I use that as a pun because a lot of people hate that term due to somehow Palpatine returned. And if you don't watch The Mandalorian, you don't know that Boba Fett did return. But how could you not know with all the hype that's going on about the Book of Boba Fett coming out next month? Anyways, so we know Boba Fett escaped the Sarlacc because he shows up in The Mandalorian Season 2 at near the end of the season. He helps Din Djarin rescue Baby Grogu or Baby Yoda or Little Green Guy or whatever you want to call him. He helps him rescue him. He keeps his word. He keeps his honor and helps him get the child back. And that means that Boba Fett is still alive. So guess what? That's not it. That's not all. The Book of Boba Fett hasn't came out yet, so we don't know what's going to be in it. We know he's going to try to start a criminal empire, but we don't know where it's going to go from there. But even before the Book of Boba Fett came out, they announced a comic series with Boba Fett as the center of attention. It's called the War of the Bounty Hunters comics, and it encompasses all the Star Wars comics like Dr. Aphra, Darth Vader, the main Star Wars comic line, Bounty Hunters. They even did some one-off issues with Jabba the Hutt, IG-88, Bausch, who was the other one, Forlom and Zuckuss. And it was a great series, honestly. I mean, I know I gave a review of it not too long ago, and I was a little bit critical of it, but I need to go back and read it straight through this time in chronological order rather than the order it was released, because it wasn't released in chronological order. Anyways, the War of the Bounty Hunter comic book is about the time between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, with Boba Fett trying to transport Han Solo to Jabba the Hutt. And Han Solo gets stolen from Boba Fett. Boba Fett winds up in a cage match, whooping everybody's ass. I mean, everybody. He didn't lose one round. He became the champion and then just walked away, took the money and walked away. It turns out that Crimson Dawn's being led by Kira from Solo: A Star Wars Story now, and she's the one who stole Han Solo from Boba Fett. And she's holding an auction to bid off Han Solo to the highest bidder. But at the end of the series, she tells Leia, "Oh no, I always meant to give him to you. I was just trying to distract people so you could take him." Not the case. She was trying to make money. Jabba the Hutt had given her $1 million or 1 million credits for Han Solo, and she strikes the gavel and says, "You're the winner, brother." But Darth Vader walks in and says, "I'm your father, brother," and then tries to take Han Solo himself, and he's going to cut him in half unless Luke Skywalker shows up, but Luke doesn't show up. Luke's whiny, off doing his own whiny thing like he did a lot. Sorry, it's not that I don't like Luke Skywalker, but man, you guys put him way too high on a pedestal. Way too high. Dude's whiny. His dad was whiny. He's whiny. Runs in the family. But I'll get back to Luke Skywalker here in just a little bit. Anyway, so it turns out Darth Vader's going to cut him in half. Luke Skywalker doesn't show up, but instead Darth Vader chases after Luke Skywalker, sends Han Solo to his ship, the Executor, the Super Star Destroyer. The Hutts decide they want to attack the ship because Kira tells them to. So Darth Vader then leaves Luke, goes to the Hutt Council's main ship, kills all the Hutt Council, minus Jabba the Hutt, who has safely transported himself back to Tatooine because he was upset. Boba Fett and Bylart Valance board the Executor, sneak in, steal Han Solo back. Boba Fett shoots Valance, leaves him for dead, and Boba Fett transports Han Solo to Jabba the Hutt and gets paid. So that means Jabba the Hutt just paid for Han Solo twice. Not once, but twice. Kira kept his money. She didn't give it back to him. She said, "Oh well, I don't know what to tell you. You let Darth Vader walk out with him." But I also meant to say that I will get back to Luke Skywalker after I finish this little story. Anyways, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. But if you want to talk about, let's talk about Boba Fett. How he gave off that air of being this badass in The Empire Strikes Back. The way he talked to Vader, you know, the no disintegrations, all that stuff. He showed he's a badass in War of the Bounty Hunters. And this takes place right after The Empire Strikes Back. So it's in succession. Or secession, I don't know, whatever word that is. I don't need to try to use big words. But it's right in chronological order of The Empire Strikes Back. So Boba Fett goes out and whoops ass. And he doesn't just whoop anybody's ass. He's not out beating these little death stick thugs on the streets. No, he beats ass of Forlom, 4LOM, Zuckuss, Bylart Valance, cuts Bosk's legs off and leaves him for dead, but, you know, Bosk is a Transocean, so his legs grow back anyway. He whoops the crap out of Dengar. All these big names of bounty hunters that we know can kick ass. He destroyed IG-88 pretty much. And then IG-88 came back, or I should say that Darth Vader whooped his ass, then he came back after that and went after Boba Fett and was unsuccessful, and then became depressed. IG-88's a droid, and he became even more depressed than C-3PO. That was odd to me, but it was a really good story. I really liked the story of IG-88. I also love the story of Bausch. That one-off comic really just parted ways from the War of the Bounty Hunters thing just a little bit, just a tiny little sideline. And I really felt bad for Bausch now that I know that Leia killed him and took his armor and his uniform, because Bausch, all he was trying to do was become one with his people again. He had this little group of people with him that he protected and that he cared about deeply. And then now we know that Leia went and killed the poor guy and took his armor, and it was kind of sad, you know, to know all that is going to happen to Bausch after this story about him. So if you only pick up one of these comics of the series, of the War of the Bounty Hunter series, pick up the one about Bausch. Pick up the one about 4LOM and Zuckuss. That one's a really good one too. And so is the IG-88 one. So pick up three. Don't just pick up one. Don't pick up three. So that's it. That's the Boba Fett thing that I'm really excited for. That's why I'm excited for the Book of Boba Fett, because we actually got to see Boba Fett whoop ass in War of the Bounty Hunters and in the Mandalorian Season 2. Did you see how he did those stormtroopers? I know anybody will say, I mean, stormtroopers, so what? They're like rag dolls. Everybody beats them up. Well, true, but Boba Fett did what we see Boba Fett do in our mind's eye. Boba Fett had whooped their ass by himself. I mean, it looked like Mando would have got his ass whooped by him. Probably not, but it looked like he could have, maybe, since they destroyed the Razor Crest anyway, and his good arsenal was gone. All right, so that's that. I'm waiting for the Book of Boba Fett to come out December 29th. I cannot wait for that. And I'm hoping YouTube catches onto the algorithm of this video. Honestly, I'm not going to lie. I would like a lot of people to see it, just to see what I'm like without a script. And I did say I wanted to circle back around to Luke Skywalker. Now, my first words about him in this video were not that pleasant. I mean, I don't hate Luke Skywalker. I actually like Luke Skywalker. He's so multifaceted and so deep that he's a good character to dive into and really analyze. I probably analyze him a little too much, since Star Wars is basically about good and evil and family. But let's look at Luke Skywalker. I wanted to go to Tashi Station and pick up some power converters. All right, you know, dude, all your uncle's doing is asking you to work. Do it. Just do the work, and then later you can go to Tashi Station. You know, just get the droids cleaned up. You helped him buy them. You picked the damn blue one. So come on, just help your uncle out a little bit. He's an old man. You look at your aunt. She's an old woman. It looks like they're the only two working this farm. You're a young strapping kid. You got this chest all showing and whatnot, and you're all beefy, but you're whining about working. I understand you want to join the Imperial Academy. We get it, dude. You couldn't go with your buddies. Well, maybe your buddies had a little bit more leisure time and were able to go join it because their families were a little bit better off. But your buddies wound up not being in the Imperial Navy anyway. They wound up being with the Rebellion. So thank your lucky stars that your uncle made you sit back for a minute and clean some droids. And it doesn't stop there. When he sees Han Solo, he's like, Han Solo's like, oh, who's going to pilot this thing? You? He's like, yeah, I'm not such a bad pilot. And he's trying to flex on Han Solo and stuff. Han Solo's been around for a while. He's seen some stuff. And you probably don't want to flex on that guy. And plus, he's got this arm-pulling Wookiee right next to him that'll just rip your arms off and beat you with him. I don't know. Maybe I should make a different video about how whiny Luke Skywalker is and how much he can be annoying to other people. I'm sure Han Solo found him annoying. I mean, they're leaving Mos Eisley, and they run into the Imperial Star Destroyers, and Han Solo's like, oh, a couple maneuvers and blah, blah, blah. And Luke's like, well, you outrun him. I thought you said this thing was fast. Come on, whiny kid. He's trying to pilot this thing, and you're in his ear chirping this stuff. Back up. Wookiee, pull this guy's arms off. So then we fast forward to Dagobah, where Luke starts his training as a Jedi. His real training. I mean, Obi-Wan taught him a couple things in a couple hours, which I didn't understand why he was so upset when Obi-Wan died, when he only knew him a couple hours. Owen and Beru raised him from pretty much birth, and he could have gave two snots about what happened to them. He saw their burnt bodies just laying there all twisted and mangled and everything, and for like 15 seconds he's like, oh, well, that sucks. I guess I can go join the rebellion now. Anyways, he's on Dagobah training with Yoda. I understand he doesn't have the force abilities that Yoda's had. Yoda's got 900 years on this guy. But when Yoda tells you can do something, listen to him. You can do it. Yoda tells you can do it. Yoda's not going to hype somebody up that is unable to do something. He's not going to tell Luke, yo, man, you can lift that rock. I know you can. And then sit back and chuckle when he can't do it. That's not Yoda. Yoda's encouraging. Yoda's all empowering. Yoda's all about be the strongest you can be. But Luke is about being the whiniest Luke he can be. Upside down, kicking his feet around, holding Yoda on a foot, and trying to lift rocks, and drops R2-D2, drops the rocks, all that stuff. Tiny little pebbles compared to what Yoda can lift. I mean, Yoda could probably pull the Death Star out of the sky and crunch it up into a tiny little ball like a trash compactor. And yes, I know that's an exaggeration. I'm sorry, please don't get upset with me. Then Luke's about to lift the X-Wing out of the water because it sinks down in the mud and all the muck and all that crap on Dagobah. It's a swamp and there's snakes and spiders and all that crap. But Yoda tells him, lift it out of the water, dude. And Luke looks at him like he's crazy. And he's like, I said lift it out of the water. You can do it. Because, you know, Yoda's this little cheerleader, little 2-foot cheerleader going, yeah, you can do it, Luke. Do it, Luke. Go, Luke. And Luke's like, all right, I'll try. No, I didn't tell you to try to do it, Luke. I told you to do it. Go do it. I know you can do it. I have that faith in you, that constant ability that you have. I have. We have it. I know what you're feeling. Do it. And Yoda even tells him, he says, look, dude, judge me by my size, do you? I'm a 1.5-foot little green dude with giant ears and only 3 fingers. Watch this. Luke fails. Drops the X-Wing back farther into the water, and Yoda like shakes his head. He's like, man, this guy, why did I get this guy? Why didn't I get the other one? The other one's confident and strong. I got this whiny pud, and he's just bawling at him. Yoda's upset with the guy, and it's visible on his face. And he puts his little 3 fingers out there, 1.5 foot off the ground, and, you know, in the force and all that, and then the X-Wing comes up out of the water, floats overhead. There's this giant score by John Williams. It's amazing. It's the Yoda theme just playing. But honestly, that's one of my favorite themes of Star Wars is the Yoda theme. And it just flies overhead slowly and then gently sets on the ground. Yoda's just got his eyes closed going zip, zap, zippity, zap. And then he looks at Luke and Luke goes, I don't believe it. Well, duh, you don't believe it. You didn't believe him when he told you you could do it. And look at him, he's 1.5 feet tall, and he's lifting X-Wings out of the water. You said you would try. That's why you failed. But he can't lift an X-Wing out of the water. Luke whines about it. I tried. But he fails. And then he says, I don't get it, dude. How'd you do it? You're only 1.5 feet tall. And he goes, that's why you failed. But then, just a couple minutes later, Luke's confident enough to go into a dark cave where the dark side is and battle Darth Vader. A couple minutes later. And for all he knows, that's Darth Vader in there. He even strikes up his lightsaber first. Notice that about Jedi. They strike up their lightsaber before the dark side user does. Pay attention to it. Other than, I think, maybe the Duel of the Fates with Darth Maul, Qui-Gon Jinn, and Obi-Wan. I think Darth Maul might have fired his first. But Luke fires up his lightsaber first, wants to fight Darth Vader. Boom, victorious. Bam! Darth Vader's head falls to the ground. Luke's like, yeah, look at you. I got you, bitch. And then Darth Vader's like, pow, his head blows up, and it's Luke's face in there. Ha ha, you failed. Joke's on you. Then a couple days later, Luke's got the confidence again to go battle the real Darth Vader. My friends are going to die if I don't go. Well, you don't know that. Yoda can't even see that, and everyone even tells him as much. You can't see it, dude. But I gotta go. I'll come back and complete my training, I promise. Why don't you just complete it now, dude? It seems like 18 months went by really fast compared to the rest of the galaxy. You could probably wrap it up in about another 6 months. And I'm probably gonna have like 15 subscribers drop off my account because of this little Luke spiel that I'm doing. But again, I don't hate Luke. I love Luke. I think he's awesome. He's human. He's really human, and it shows through his actions, his whininess, and his concern for his friends and family, and how he musters up the courage to go after Darth Vader. He loses pretty bad, but he still goes after Darth Vader. So this next little bit's also going to get people to drop off my account, I'm sure, because what I'm about to say is very controversial. I don't judge anybody for their opinions of any movie, series, comic, novel, whatever. I don't judge anybody for it. You like what you like, you dislike what you like, and that's cool with me. But please don't get mad at me because I like something you don't like. And I'm not going to preach it at you. I'm not going to try to tell you you need to like this. But I'm going to tell you this, that in The Last Jedi, I saw Luke Skywalker as the Luke Skywalker from the original trilogy. Now, hear me out before you guys start clicking away from this and all that stuff. I know a lot of you like the Luke Skywalker from the expanded universe. He's the Return of the Jedi Luke Skywalker. He's the hero that saves all and does all. He's OP. He's amazing. He can pull Star Destroyers out of Sky TIE Fighters and, just whip them into little lollipops and throw them around. And that's cool. I like that Luke Skywalker too, but I wasn't as much of a fan of that Luke Skywalker as I was the original 2 movies, the A New Hope and The Empire Strikes Back. That Luke Skywalker I liked. He was fallible. He was normal. He was human. He did have some superpowers and all that, and he was able to use the Force and conjure it up. But he'd been through a lot. He'd seen his aunt and uncle get killed. He saw his mentor get killed. His little green feller, he knew he wasn't going to be around for a while. Yoda was going to die eventually. He was 900 and something years old. But in The Last Jedi, I saw reflected the A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back Luke Skywalker that I first started watching when I was 4 years old in 1977. That was the Luke Skywalker I knew. I did read about the expanded universe Luke Skywalker, and he was cool and all that with the Mara Jade and the kids and so on and so forth. But this Luke Skywalker was the one that resonated with me, so I couldn't hate what they did with his character in that. He became whiny and unconfident again in moments, and then boosted his confidence again at the end to go face on the whole First Order. Sure, he was similar to a Force ghost at that time, but it killed him doing it, and it almost killed him when he went to rescue Han and Leia on Cloud City. So he put himself in danger in both instances, and that's the Luke Skywalker that I like. So yeah, just don't hate me for liking that part of The Last Jedi. I mean, I don't hate you for not liking it. I understand. You guys are big EU fans, some of you, and some of you see the expanded universe as the be-all, end-all of what Luke Skywalker should be, this OP hero who's infallible. But I like the human aspect of Luke Skywalker. I don't know, maybe I should make another video just on why I do like Luke Skywalker and The Rise of, not The Rise of Skywalker, in The Last Jedi. And explain it a little more in detail rather than a goofy unscripted video that I'm just trying to put out there for fun. So don't take me too seriously on all this. I mean, I do mean what I say, but I'm sitting here joking around. I want to go to Toshi Station and pick up some power converters. I don't run them. I thought you said this thing was fast. But yeah, it's true. Luke Skywalker is not my favorite character. He's probably in my top 10 or top 15, but he's not my favorite character. There's a reason for that. And it's not because of his fallibility or because he's whiny. I really don't care about that. I know some whiny people in my life, and I love them to death. And the reason he's not in my top 5 is it's really superficial, and it's probably stupid of me, but he's too pretty. He had that Leif Garrett look to him, and I was made for dancing. And I was just like, oh my God. And if you saw the promotional stuff with Mark Hamill during that time, he looked like he was made for dancing. And I was not into disco. I was more into Queen and Led Zeppelin and stuff like that back then. Not Leif Garrett. But look, when it comes down to it, I love Star Wars. I know you guys love Star Wars. Like I said in another video of mine, that we may not agree with which part of Star Wars we like and which part of Star Wars we dislike, but we all agree that we like Star Wars. There's no reason for the drama. I don't need the drama in my life. You don't need the drama in your life. We shouldn't feed off of the drama. We should feed off the positivity, the stuff we do like together. Like, you may not like Boba Fett as much as I do, or you might like Luke Skywalker more than I do, but we probably agree on Darth Vader and Anakin Skywalker, them being some of the greatest villains that were ever written. Well, Anakin wasn't a villain, but you know what I mean. His turn to the dark side being one of the greatest tragedies of all of cinema. We probably agree on that. And there's no reason to have drama, name-calling, and harassing people and all that. I mean, if you do, that's fine. If you want to leave me comments harassing me and stuff, I'm just going to ignore you. Just the way it is, because I'm not a negative person. I'm a very positive person. I enjoy my Star Wars, and I know you enjoy your Star Wars. We just have different angles on it. And really depends on who we are as people, not what we like in Star Wars. But I guess I'll go ahead and start wrapping this video up. I've been rambling on for more than 30 minutes. I'm sorry to take up so much of your time, but I'm really hyped about the Book of Boba Fett next month. That's probably the one project I'm the most excited for. Yes, the Kenobi series, the Ahsoka series, Andor, those all look great, and I can't wait for those to come out. And even the Bad Batch Season 2 promises to be even probably better than the first season. But the Book of Boba Fett is my crown jewel. It's something we've been asking for generations now, and we're finally getting it. And I mean, if you say, well, we've been asking for a Kenobi series for a long time, or a Kenobi spinoff or something like that, I'm sorry, Kenobi had 4 films. Boba Fett had 6.5 minutes or 8 minutes in 3 films. But don't get me wrong, I am excited to see the Kenobi series. I really want to see Hayden Christensen back as Anakin / Darth Vader, however they're going to do it in flashbacks or Force Ghost, or who knows. No, he can't be a Force Ghost because he's still alive at this time. But however it goes, I cannot wait to see that. But the Book of Boba Fett is something I've been hoping for since 1980. So I'm really excited for that one. But guys, as always, I love you guys. You guys are great. I enjoy our company. I enjoy talking with you guys in my live streams and in the live chats when I do the premiere videos and all that good stuff. So please, just hang in there with me. I mean, this is a one-time thing, maybe. I might do it more, who knows? But, you know, we all love Star Wars. Let's keep loving Star Wars together. If you're new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you don't want to, that's fine. You probably won't. But hit the like button. Leave a comment down below if you're excited for the Book of Boba Fett or the Andor series or the Kenobi series or Ahsoka or the Mandalorian Season 3 or the Bad Batch. Any of that. You can even talk about Patty Jenkins delaying the Rogue Squadron movie. That's fine. We'll talk about it. I like commenting back when you guys comment to me. But everybody, I want to thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far into the video, I really appreciate it. And remember, this is the way, the only way.